Here's a hard truth. Most people over 60 lose 30% of their muscle mass without even realizing it. And that's the number one reason so many seniors fall, get injured, and never fully recover. But what if I told you that staying strong, sharp, and healthy after 60 doesn't have to be complicated? In fact, you can add years, good years, to your life with just a few simple changes. So let me ask you, do you want to just grow older? Or do you want to stay vibrant, independent, and truly alive after 60? Here's the reality. After 60, many people start to feel their bodies betraying them. Climbing stairs feels harder. Sleep isn't as refreshing. Joints ache. Doctors' visits become more frequent. And maybe the scariest part? That quiet fear of losing independence, of needing help with even the smallest things. It's not just about aches and pains. Studies show that lifestyle diseases like diabetes, heart problems, and dementia spike dramatically after 60. And the sad truth is, many people accept this as inevitable aging. But let me share something powerful with you. Aging is natural. Decline is not. What if I told you there are 7 science-backed ways to stay healthy, energetic, and mentally sharp, no matter your age? Here's the big secret. You don't need expensive supplements, complicated diets, or grueling workouts. The key is building a few small, intentional habits into your life. And when you do, your body and mind start working with you, not against you. So let's dive into the 7 proven ways to stay healthy after 60. And trust me, number 6 might surprise you the most. Protect your life. Picture this. Mary is 67 years old. She's a grandmother of 4, full of energy, and loves gardening. One day, while carrying a basket of vegetables into the kitchen, she stumbles on the back step. If this had happened just a few years earlier, Mary might have broken her hip, been hospitalized, and possibly never returned to the life she loves. But this time, she steadied herself, regained her balance, and carried on. Why? Because Mary had spent the last 3 years focusing on one thing most people her age overlook: maintaining her muscles. This story isn't rare. The difference between seniors who thrive and those who decline often comes down to one hidden factor: muscle mass. Why muscle matters? More after 60. Most people think muscle is just about looking strong or lifting heavy weights. But after 60, muscle is medicine. It's your body's armor, metabolism regulator, and mobility protector. Here's the shocking truth. Adults lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after 30. After 60, that rate doubles. By 80, the average person has lost half their muscle mass. This condition even has a medical name: sarcopenia. It's not just about weakness, it's about survival. Sarcopenia leads to falls, fractures, slower recovery from illness, and even increased risk of death. Why? Because muscle is far more than bulk. It stores glucose and helps prevent diabetes. It burns calories and prevents fat gain. It supports bones and reduces fracture risk. It even releases hormones that protect the brain and heart. In other words, losing muscle isn't just about losing strength. It's about losing independence. The domino effect of weakness. Think about the last time you saw someone in their 70s or 80s struggling to stand up from a chair. That difficulty isn't just about the legs. It's a warning sign. Difficulty rising from a chair is strongly linked to increased mortality risk. Here's how the domino effect works. 1. Weak muscles, more fatigue. 2. Fatigue, less movement. 3. Less movement, weaker muscles. 4. Weaker muscles, higher risk of falls. 5. Falls, fractures. 6. Fractures, loss of independence. It's a cycle that steals years, not just of life, but of quality life. The good news: muscle can be rebuilt at any age. Here's the part most seniors don't know. It's never too late. Research has shown that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle with the right kind of exercise and nutrition. For example, a study at Tufts University put 90-year-olds on a simple strength training program. The result? Significant increases in muscle mass, walking speed, and balance in just 10 weeks. Your body has an incredible ability to adapt. It's waiting for you to give it a reason to grow stronger. Practical steps. Building strength. After 60. Now, let's break down how you can protect your muscles. 1. Start with resistance training. You don't need a fancy gym. Resistance can come from body weight, squats to a chair, wall push-ups, step-ups on a staircase. Resistance bands, affordable, light, and perfect for home. Light weights. Even soup cans or water bottles can work. Start slow. 2 to 3 times per week, aim for 20 to 30 minutes. Focus on major muscle groups: legs, arms, core, back. Muscles are built from protein, but here's the catch. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using it. This is called anabolic resistance. Solution? Increase protein intake. Aim for 25–30 grams per meal. That could be eggs and Greek yogurt for breakfast, chicken or beans at lunch, fish or lentils for dinner. If appetite is an issue, smoothies or protein shakes can help. Muscle doesn't grow when you exercise. It grows when you rest. Make sure to get adequate sleep and spread workouts with rest days. Strong muscles protect you, but balanced training ensures you use that strength. Add in standing on one leg while brushing teeth, gentle yoga or Tai Chi, heel-to-toe walking. Imagine you've been practicing chair squats for a month. Suddenly, getting out of your recliner feels effortless. Carrying groceries doesn't leave you breathless. Climbing stairs? Easier. These little changes add up to something massive. Independence. Mary from earlier didn't just avoid a fall, she kept her garden, her freedom, and her confidence. That's the power of muscle. Think about the people you love. Maybe it's your spouse, your grandchildren, or even your lifelong friends. Staying strong isn't just for you, it's for them. Every squat, every push-up, every walk around the block is a promise. I'll be here. I'll stay active. I'll keep showing up. So here's your takeaway. Muscle is not optional after 60. It's your lifeline. Protect it with strength training, protein, and daily movement. Even starting small can transform your future. And as powerful as muscles are, they can't protect you from everything. For that, we need to look at the next habit. Eating for energy. Not just survival. Eat for energy, not just to survive. Food is more than fuel. It's the difference between dragging through the day and thriving through the years. Yet for so many people over 60, meals become less about nourishment and more about routine. Breakfast might be a slice of toast with tea, lunch a quick sandwich, dinner something easy and familiar. It feels comforting. It feels enough. But here's the hidden problem. Enough doesn't mean optimal. After 60, your body changes in ways most people never realize until it's too late. Your metabolism slows down. Your appetite shrinks. Your ability to absorb nutrients declines. And while you may feel like you're eating just fine, inside your body a quiet storm brews, muscles slowly breaking down, energy fading, and defenses against disease weakening. The truth is, the older you get, the more intentional you must be with every bite. Food is no longer about just filling your stomach. It's about protecting your brain, fueling your muscles, and keeping your heart beating strong. Eating the right way doesn't just add years to your life. It adds life to your years. Why seniors need a different approach to food. Let's start with a hard fact. By age 60, most people eat about 20% less protein than their body needs. At the same time, processed carbs and sugary snacks creep into the diet because they're convenient and cheap. The result? Weak muscles, unstable blood sugar, and rising risk of diabetes and heart disease. And here's another curveball. As we age, our digestive system becomes less efficient. The stomach produces less acid, making it harder to absorb key nutrients like vitamin B12, calcium, and iron. That means even if you're eating what you think is healthy, your body may not be getting the full benefit. This is why so many seniors feel tired, foggy, or weaker than they should. It's not just age, it's the fuel they're putting in their tank. So, what's the solution? It's not about restrictive diets or chasing the latest trend. It's about making food choices that give you sustained energy, protect your body, and keep your mind sharp. Think of your plate like a medicine cabinet. Each color, each texture, each ingredient has a role to play in keeping you vibrant. Here is how you can start shifting from eating to survive to eating to thrive. Protein is the cornerstone of a healthy diet after 60, yet it's the nutrient most often neglected. Why does it matter so much? Because protein feeds your muscles, repairs your tissues, and even helps keep your immune system strong. Studies show that seniors who eat 25-30 grams of protein per meal maintain more muscle mass, recover faster from illness, and even have sharper cognitive function. The good news? Protein doesn't have to mean steak every night. Delicious, senior-friendly options include eggs, soft, easy to digest, and versatile. Greek yogurt, high in protein, gentle on the stomach. Beans and lentils, fiber-rich and heart-friendly. Fish, salmon, tuna, or sardines give protein plus omega-3 fats. Imagine starting your morning with scrambled eggs and spinach instead of just toast. That small shift alone can dramatically stabilize your energy levels for the entire day. Vegetables and fruits are nature's pharmacy. They deliver antioxidants that fight inflammation, vitamins that protect your cells, and fiber that keeps your gut and heart healthy. After 60, inflammation becomes a silent enemy. It fuels arthritis, heart disease, and even memory decline. The antidote? A rainbow of plants. Dark leafy greens like kale and spinach protect your bones with calcium and vitamin K. Berries reduce oxidative stress in the brain, keeping memory sharp. Bright orange vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes provide vitamin A, supporting vision. The trick is variety. Don't just stick with one or two favorites. Challenge yourself to add one new vegetable or fruit every week. For years, fat got a bad reputation. But after 60, the right fats are essential, especially for your brain. About 60% of your brain is made of fat, and it thrives on omega-3s, found in fish, walnuts, flaxseed, and olive oil. Research shows seniors who eat omega-3-rich diets reduce their risk of dementia and depression. On the flip side, diets high in trans fats and processed oils accelerate cognitive decline. Instead of margarine or fried snacks, drizzle olive oil on your salad, add avocado to your toast, or snack on a handful of almonds. These simple swaps protect not just your heart, but your memory. Carbohydrates aren't the enemy. They just need to be chosen wisely. Refined carbs like white bread, pastries, and sugary drinks cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, leaving you tired and irritable. Over time, they increase the risk of diabetes. But complex carbs, like oats, brown rice, quinoa, and sweet potatoes, release energy slowly, keeping your body fueled steadily. Paired with protein and healthy fats, they create the perfect balance for lasting vitality. Try swapping your morning white toast for oatmeal topped with berries and nuts. You'll notice the difference in how stable your energy feels by midday. Many seniors mistake thirst for hunger. Others simply drink less water because they don't feel as thirsty as they used to. But dehydration is dangerous. It can cause confusion, dizziness, constipation, and kidney strain. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Herbal teas, soups, and water-rich foods like cucumbers and melons count too. Keep a reusable water bottle nearby as a reminder. It's not just what you eat, but when. Many people over 60 skip meals, especially breakfast, without realizing how much it drains them. Long gaps without food cause dips in blood sugar, leading to fatigue and irritability. Try to eat balanced meals every 4 to 5 hours. Consistency stabilizes your energy, improves digestion, and keeps your metabolism humming. Let's compare 2 breakfasts. Survival mode. Breakfast: white toast with butter and a cup of tea. Energy mode. Breakfast: scrambled eggs with spinach, whole grain toast, and half an avocado. Both meals take the same time to prepare. But the first one gives you a sugar spike and crash, leaving you tired by 10 a.m. The second one provides protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs, fuel that lasts until lunch. This is the power of eating for energy. Think about it this way. Every meal you eat is either building your future or draining it. When you sit down to a plate of colorful vegetables, hearty proteins, and nourishing fats, you're not just feeding your body, you're protecting your independence, your memories, your ability to enjoy life. Food is love. Love for yourself. Love for the people who want you to stay vibrant and present in their lives. So here's the big idea. After 60, food isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Prioritize protein, embrace plants, choose healthy fats, focus on smart carbs, and stay hydrated. When you do, you'll notice more energy, sharper thinking, and a stronger body. And once your body is fueled the right way, the next habit becomes even more powerful, moving every hour to keep your circulation alive. Way 3. Move every hour. Your circulation depends on it. It was a Tuesday afternoon when Richard, age 72, stood up from his recliner to grab a glass of water. He'd been sitting for nearly 3 hours, watching television, without even realizing how much time had passed. As he rose, he felt a wave of dizziness, his legs stiff, his back aching. He stumbled slightly before catching himself on the arm of the chair. His heart was pounding, not from exertion, but from simple movement. That moment scared him. It wasn't a fall. It wasn't an emergency, but it was a wake-up call. Richard realized something important. The danger wasn't in the big moments of his life, but in the small, quiet hours of sitting still. And science now confirms what Richard felt in his body. Sitting too long is more than a bad habit. It is a silent killer. The science. Why sitting is the new smoking. You've probably heard the phrase, "Sitting is the new smoking." It's not just a catchy slogan. It's backed by decades of research. Here's what happens when you sit for long periods, especially after age 60. 1. Circulation slows. Blood pools in your legs, making your heart work harder. This raises the risk of blood clots and high blood pressure. 2. Muscles weaken. Without regular contractions, muscles lose strength and flexibility. Over time, they forget how to support you. 3. Metabolism slows. Sitting reduces the activity of enzymes that burn fat and regulate blood sugar. That's why sedentary people face higher risks of obesity and diabetes. 4. Brain power drops. Less blood flow means less oxygen to the brain, leading to fogginess, forgetfulness, even higher risk of dementia. Now, here's the alarming part. Researchers have found that sitting more than 8 hours a day can increase the risk of early death as much as smoking or obesity. And the kicker? Even if you exercise once a day, it doesn't erase the damage of sitting for hours on end. What really matters is breaking up your sitting time with movement. Think of your body like a river. When water flows, it's fresh, clear, full of life. But when water stagnates, it grows murky, toxic, and still. That's what happens inside your body when you sit too long. Every time you stand up, stretch, or take a few steps, you restart the flow. Your blood pumps, your lungs expand, your muscles engage. It's like hitting the reset button for your health. Here's the empowering truth. You don't need hours in a gym. You just need moments of movement, repeated every hour. That's it. Let's talk science again. Researchers at the University of Queensland studied older adults who simply stood up and moved lightly every 30 minutes. The results? Dramatic improvements in blood sugar control, circulation, and energy compared to those who sat for long periods. Another study in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that people who interrupted sitting with just 2 minutes of light walking every hour lived longer than those who didn't. Studied. These movement snacks, as some scientists call them, are powerful medicine. They don't require sweat, equipment, or even changing clothes. Just small, frequent reminders to move. Now, let's make this real. What can movement every hour look like in your life? During TV time, stand up during every commercial, march in place, or stretch your arms overhead. While reading, after each chapter, stand and walk around the room. On the phone, walk around while talking instead of sitting. In the kitchen, do 10 heel raises while waiting for the kettle to boil. Bedtime routine. Before bed, take 2 minutes to stretch your legs and shoulders. These aren't workouts, they're interruptions. Think of them as little health deposits in your longevity bank. Let me ask you something. What's your greatest fear about aging? For many, it's not death. It's losing independence. Losing the ability to walk to the bathroom unaided. Losing the ability to climb stairs or hug your grandchild without pain. Movement every hour is your shield against that fear. Every step you take is a statement. I will not surrender my independence to stillness. Remember Richard from earlier? After his scare, he set a simple rule. Every 60 minutes, he would stand up and move. Sometimes it was walking to the mailbox, sometimes just circling his living room. 6 months later, his dizziness was gone, his blood pressure improved, and his doctor even reduced his medication. But most importantly, Richard felt alive again. He didn't just live, he moved through life with purpose. So here's my message to you, and I want you to feel it deep in your bones. Your body is not meant for stillness. It is designed for movement. Every cell, every muscle, every organ depends on circulation. And circulation depends on you. Don't think of movement as exercise. Think of it as freedom. The freedom to walk unassisted. The freedom to play with your grandkids. The freedom to live without fear of falls or frailty. Every hour, you have a choice. Stay seated and let time chip away at your strength. Or stand up, move, and claim another piece of your independence. It doesn't matter how small the movement is. What matters is that you choose it over and over again. Because small movements add up to a powerful life. So, here's the takeaway. Sitting is silent, but deadly. Movement is loud in its benefits, but simple in its action. Stand up, stretch, walk, move every single hour. Your circulation depends on it. Your heart depends on it. Your brain depends on it. And once your blood is flowing and your body feels alive, there's another secret to keeping your health strong after 60. One that happens when your eyes are closed. That's right, the healing power of sleep. Sleep, your body's secret repair mode. Linda, age 68, prided herself on being active. She gardened, walked with friends, and volunteered twice a week. But there was one thing she struggled with: sleep. She often went to bed at midnight after scrolling on her tablet, tossing and turning until 2 a.m. By morning, she dragged herself out of bed, her eyes heavy, her mind foggy. She thought this was just normal aging. After all, don't older adults naturally sleep less? But here, as what Linda didn't realize, her lack of sleep wasn't just leaving her tired. It was quietly stealing her memory, weakening her immune system, and putting her heart at risk. That's because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. And after 60, sleep becomes one of the most powerful medicines your body can create. We often think of sleep as switching off, but biologically, sleep is the most active time of repair your body has. Here's what happens when you close your eyes. 1. Cellular repair. Growth hormones surge, repairing tissues, healing microscopic muscle tears, and strengthening bones. 2. Brain detox. The brain's glymphatic system flushes out waste proteins, including the toxic buildup linked to Alzheimer's disease. 3. Memory consolidation. Your brain takes the day's experiences and organizes them, moving short-term memories into long-term storage. 4. Immune boost. Sleep strengthens white blood cells, sharpening your ability to fight infections. 5. Metabolic reset. Hormones that regulate appetite, ghrelin, and leptin, balance during sleep. Without it, cravings rise and weight gain accelerates. Now here's the kicker. Missing even a few hours of quality sleep each night has effects similar to aging your body faster. And chronic sleep loss increases risks of dementia, heart disease, diabetes, and falls. So why do so many seniors, like Linda, struggle with sleep? It's not just habit, it's biology. Melatonin decline. Melatonin, the hormone that signals bedtime, decreases with age. Circadian shifts. The internal body clock drifts earlier, making it harder to stay asleep through the night. Fragmented sleep. Conditions like arthritis, sleep apnea, or frequent urination disrupt deep rest. Lifestyle habits. Evening caffeine, alcohol, and late-night screen time overstimulate the brain. But here's the empowering truth. While biology sets the stage, lifestyle determines the performance. Sleep can be protected and even restored with intentional habits. In our productivity-driven culture, sleep is often treated as wasted time. But let me be clear. Sleep is the foundation of longevity. Think of your body like a smartphone. You can use it all day, but unless you plug it in to recharge, the battery dies. Sleep is your charging station. Without it, you're running on low power, sluggish, unfocused, and vulnerable to breakdown. The difference is this. Unlike a phone, you can't just swap batteries. Protecting your sleep is protecting your only power source. So, how can you sleep better after 60? Here are strategies proven by research. 1. Honor the clock. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even weekends. A steady rhythm strengthens your circadian clock, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. 2. Light as medicine. Morning sunlight resets your body clock and boosts melatonin production at night. Aim for 20 minutes outdoors within the first 2 hours of waking. 3. Create a sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom should be dark, cool, and quiet. Studies show that even small amounts of light disrupt melatonin. Blackout curtains, earplugs, and a fan can work wonders. 4. Evening rituals. Signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Read a paper book instead of scrolling. Drink a warm, caffeine-free tea like chamomile. Try gentle stretches or deep breathing. 5. Watch what you eat and drink. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Limit alcohol. It fragments sleep. Eat your last big meal at least 3 hours before bed. 6. Nap smart. A 20-30-minute nap before 3 p.m. can refresh without disrupting nighttime sleep. Longer naps or late naps, however, can backfire. Picture two versions of yourself. Version A, you stay up watching TV until midnight, wake 3 times in the night, and rise groggy at 8 a.m. By mid-morning, you're sluggish, forgetful, and craving sugar. The whole day feels heavy. Version B, you wind down at 9:30, read for 20 minutes, lights out at 10. You sleep deeply, wake at 6 a.m. with sunlight streaming in. Your energy is steady, your mood is lighter, your memory sharper. Same person, same life. The only difference? Sleep. Think about what you want most in the next chapter of life. To travel? To play with grandchildren? To stay independent? Every dream depends on one thing: a body and brain that function at their best. And the secret isn't T found in a pill, it's S in the hours you give yourself each night to heal. Sleep is not time lost. Sleep is time invested in your future. So here's my challenge to you. Start seeing yourself as a sleeper athlete. Treat sleep as training for the life you want. Guard your bedtime the way you'd guard an important meeting. Respect it. Honor it. Because when you sleep deeply, you don't just rest. You rise. You rise sharper, stronger, more resilient. You rise as someone who refuses to let fatigue steal their joy. Linda, the woman I told you about earlier, she transformed her nights by creating a sleep routine. Dim lights at 9 p.m., no screens, herbal tea, same bedtime. Within 2 months, her mornings felt brighter, her memory improved, and her friends noticed her energy had returned. She didn't change her age, she changed her sleep. And in doing so, she changed her life. So, remember, sleep is your body's secret repair mode. Protect it like your most valuable asset. Because it is. Every night is a chance to heal, to restore, and to prepare for another day of living fully. And when your nights are strong, your days shine brighter. But strength isn't just in the brain and heart. It is also in how you keep your mind young through constant learning. That's where we go next. Way number 5, keep your brain young with learning. The story. The woman who learned at 82. At 82 years old, Masako Wakamiya from Japan had never touched a computer. She felt left behind as the digital world accelerated around her. Friends told her it was too late. You are too old for that kind of thing. But instead of giving in, Masako decided to prove them wrong. She bought a computer, learned how to use it, and eventually, she created her own smartphone app. At 82, she became one of the oldest app developers in the world, standing on stage at tech conferences, inspiring millions. Her story is living proof. It's never too late to learn, never too late to grow, and never too late to keep your brain young. How learning shapes the aging brain. Here's the exciting truth science has revealed. Your brain never stops changing. For decades, doctors believed that after a certain age, the brain just declined. A steady downhill slope. But now, research on neuroplasticity shows the opposite. The brain has the remarkable ability to rewire itself at any age. Every time you learn something new, whether it's a language, a song on the piano, or even a new walking route, your brain creates new connections. These connections strengthen networks that keep memory sharp, decision-making strong, and creativity alive. In fact, Harvard studies show that seniors who keep learning reduce their risk of dementia by up to 48%. MRI scans reveal that active learners maintain thicker brain regions associated with memory and problem-solving. Cognitive scientists found that learning even small skills, like juggling or using a new app, creates measurable brain growth. So, the real danger is not aging, It's stagnation. The moment you stop learning, your brain begins to wither. But when you stay curious, you stay young inside. Let's pause for a moment. Think about the times in your life when you felt most alive. Chances are, they were moments of discovery. Maybe you learned to ride a bike as a child. Maybe you cooked a recipe from scratch and amazed yourself. Maybe you traveled somewhere new, and every corner felt like a treasure. That spark of discovery. That is youth itself. And here, as the best part, you done to need to be young in body, to feel young in spirit. You only need to stay open, willing, and hungry for growth. The myth of too late, society whispers dangerous lies. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But those words are poison. At 71, Grandma Moses began painting after arthritis ended her farm work. She went on to become one of the most celebrated artists of her century. At 77, John Glenn returned to space, proving the human spirit isn't bound by age. At 92, Nola Oakes became the world's oldest college graduate. These aren't exceptions, they're reminders. Age does not define capacity. Attitude does. Every time you pick up a book, sign up for a class, or try something new, you're declaring, "I'm not finished yet. I'm still growing." Practical and inspirational ways to keep learning after 60. So how do we turn this inspiration into practice? Here are some powerful, everyday ways to feed your brain and spirit. 1. Learn a new skill you always wanted. Did you ever want to play guitar, bake bread, or dance salsa? Now is the time. Studies show skill-based learning strengthens both motor and memory regions of the brain. Imagine yourself at 70 picking up a paintbrush for the first time. You don't need to be Picasso. You just need to enjoy the feeling of growth. 2. Engage with technology instead of fearing it. Many seniors shy away from smartphones or social media, but technology isn't the enemy. It's the bridge. Learn to video chat, manage your photos, or even try online learning platforms. Each new step challenges the brain in meaningful ways. 3. Travel, or simulate travel. Travel forces your brain into learning mode. New languages, maps, and faces spark connections. Can't travel far? Explore a new neighborhood, or read books and watch documentaries about cultures you've never studied. 4. Teach what you know. One of the best ways to keep learning is to teach. Whether it's mentoring a grandchild, volunteering to tutor, or sharing wisdom in community groups, teaching keeps your brain sharp and gives your knowledge new life. 5. Practice. Beginner's mind. Try doing something unfamiliar every week. Cook a new cuisine. Listen to a podcast outside your usual topics. Join a club. Curiosity keeps the brain flexible and resilient. Here's the deeper reason learning matters. It gives life meaning. Physical health keeps you alive, but learning keeps you engaged. It keeps you waking up with purpose. It says, the story isn't over yet. Think of the alternative, the person who stops trying, who stops seeking. They fade not because their body gives out, but because their spirit does. Learning is the antidote to that fading. It keeps the spark burning. So let me speak directly to you. Maybe you've thought to yourself, I missed my chance. I should have learned when I was younger. But I want you to hear this clearly. It is never too late. Every day you wake up, you are standing at the edge of possibility. You are not too old. You are exactly the right age to begin. You can learn a new instrument at 65. You can study a new language at 70. You can write your first book at 80. And yes, you can even build an app at 82, just like Masako did. Your age is not a wall. It's a doorway. A doorway into a wiser, braver, and richer version of yourself. And the moment you step through, Your brain, your heart, and your spirit will thank you. Picture this. You're sitting with your grandchildren, showing them the new language you've been practicing, or teaching them a skill you just learned yourself. They look at you with wide eyes, not just as a grandparent, but as proof that growth never ends. That's the legacy you leave, not just years lived, but a spirit of curiosity, resilience, and courage. And one day, when they face their own doubts about being too late, they'll remember you and know that it's never too late to start. So remember this. Learning is the fountain of youth for the mind. It sharpens memory, lowers dementia risk, and keeps your spirit alive. But beyond science, it keeps you engaged in the grand adventure of life. Never stop asking questions. Never stop exploring. Never stop learning. Because the moment you stop learning, you start aging. And the moment you start learning again, you come alive. Build strong connections. Loneliness is deadly. A quiet truth that few speak about. Imagine this. An elderly man wakes up in a silent house. No footsteps, no laughter, no phone ringing, just the ticking of the clock on the wall. He makes his morning tea, sits at the same spot, and stares out the window. Days blend into weeks, weeks into months. On the outside, he looks fine. He eats, he sleeps, he takes his medication. But inside, something is slowly crumbling. That something is not just loneliness. It's his very health. Loneliness is as deadly as smoking. Here's a fact that might shock you. Researchers at Harvard, Stanford, and the World Health Organization have all confirmed that loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, you heard that right. Isolation weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, increases the risk of heart disease, and accelerates memory loss. Lonely seniors are 50% more likely to develop dementia and 30% more likely to die prematurely compared to those with strong social ties. But here's the miracle. The opposite is also true. Seniors with deep, meaningful connections live longer, recover faster, and enjoy richer lives. In fact, the Harvard study of adult development, which has been tracking people for over 80 years, discovered something powerful. The single greatest predictor of health and happiness in later life isn't wealth or fame or even genetics. It's the quality of your relationships. Let me tell you about Rosa. Rosa lost her husband at 70. For the first 2 years, she hardly left the house. She avoided family gatherings, thinking she would just be a burden. Her health declined rapidly. Aches, insomnia, constant fatigue. Then one day, her daughter gently insisted, "Mom, come join me at the community center. Just once." Rosa resisted, but finally agreed. That night, something changed. She found herself surrounded by laughter, stories, and even music. She reconnected with old neighbors. Soon, she began attending weekly. She started volunteering. Within months, her smile returned, her energy improved, and her doctor was amazed at her recovery. What medicine couldn't heal, connection did. Rosa's story is not rare. It's a universal truth. Human beings are not meant to live in isolation. We are wired for community. Think about a baby. The very first thing a newborn craves is touch, warmth, the sound of a familiar voice. That doesn't change with age. Deep inside, we never lose that need. After 60, many people lose spouses, friends, or siblings. The house gets quieter. The family moves away. That's when the danger creeps in, the belief that, I don't matter anymore. But here's the heartwarming truth. You do matter. And connection is not only about others taking care of you, it's about what you give. Every hug, every shared story, every laugh over a cup of tea strengthens both you and the other person. Relationships are not just social niceties, they're medicine for the soul. So how do you build these life-giving bonds when you're over 60? Here are some family-oriented, heart-centered steps. 1. Reignite family rituals. Call your children or grandchildren more often. Set up a weekly family dinner, even if it's over Zoom. Create traditions, Sunday pancakes, birthday calls, or story nights. These small rituals build a rhythm of love that keeps you tethered. 2. Invest in friendships. Reach out to old friends you've lost touch with. A simple, "I was thinking about you today," can reopen doors. And don't be afraid to make new friends. Local clubs, senior centers, and even online groups are full of people looking for the same thing: connection. 3. Give, don't just receive. Sometimes seniors hesitate to reach out because they don't want to be a burden. But connection isn't one-sided. Volunteer, mentor a young person, share your wisdom. Giving creates bonds just as powerful as receiving. 4. Adopt a pet or care for nature. Love doesn't always come only from humans. Pets can provide companionship, routine, and joy. If pets aren't possible, gardening or tending to plants can also provide a deep sense of connection to life itself. 5. Stay spiritually connected. Whether through prayer groups, meditation circles, or faith communities, spirituality creates bonds beyond bloodlines. It reminds us we're part of something larger. Think of life as a giant quilt. Every relationship, family, friends, neighbors, is a patch. Some patches are big, some small, some colorful, some plain. But together, they keep you warm. Loneliness begins when patches fall away, and the quilt grows thin. But you have the power to stitch new pieces, repair old ones, and even share your quilt with others. No one should ever feel cold when surrounded by a life of love. If you've been feeling isolated, I want to tell you something. Don't wait for others to knock on your door. You have the power to make the first move. Pick up the phone. Write that letter. Say yes to the invitation. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember this: connection is a lifeline, not a luxury. Imagine your future self, sitting years from now, looking back. Do you want to remember endless days of silence? Or do you want to remember laughter, shared meals, and the joy of being needed? The choice begins today. I'll leave you with this. A man in his 60s once decided to start visiting his local park every morning just to say hello to strangers. Over time, those strangers became friends. Some of them started bringing their children, who began calling him Grandpa. He wasn't their blood relative, but to them, he became family. His small act of reaching out created a ripple of connection that changed dozens of lives. That's the beauty of relationships. When you open your heart, you not only heal yourself, you heal the world around you. Loneliness is not just sad, it's deadly. Strong connections lower disease risk, boost happiness, and add years to your life. You can rebuild ties through family rituals, friendships, giving, pets, and spiritual community. The greatest gift you can give and receive is love. So, my friend, don't underestimate the power of a phone call, a hug, or even a smile to a stranger. Because one day, when you look back, it won't be the things you bought or the awards you won that matter most. It will be the people who held your hand, who laughed with you, who reminded you that you were never truly alone. And remember this: the heart never ages. Its capacity to love and connect remains infinite. Way number 7, purpose over retirement. Why meaning extends life. The curtain doesn't close at 60. Somewhere along the way, society invented a dangerous idea, that life has an expiration date. Work until 60 or 65, then retire, step aside, and fade quietly into the background. But here's the truth. Retirement should not mean the end of purpose. It should be the beginning of a new one. Because purpose isn't tied to a paycheck. Purpose is tied to the soul. Decades of research in psychology and medicine have proven something extraordinary. Seniors who have a strong sense of purpose, whether it's caring for grandchildren, volunteering, pursuing a passion, or even tending a garden, live longer, healthier lives. A landmark study published in the journal Psychological Science found that people with purpose were 15% more likely to outlive their peers, regardless of age, wealth, or health conditions. Another Japanese study of centenarians showed that having ikigai, a Japanese word meaning a reason to get up in the morning, is one of the strongest predictors of extraordinary longevity. It's not supplements, not fancy gyms, not miracle diets. It's waking up each day knowing, I still matter. My life still has meaning. Let me tell you about Mr. Das. He was a high school teacher for 40 years. When he reached 65, he could have stopped. But instead of retiring into silence, he continued teaching. Not in classrooms, but in parks, in libraries, in community centers. Children would gather around him as he told stories of history and science with a sparkle in his eyes. He lived to 98, sharp and vibrant until his final days. When people asked him his secret, he smiled and said, I never stopped having a reason to wake up. Mr. Das didn't live longer because he escaped old age. He lived longer because he embraced purpose. Think of the human spirit as a fire. Food gives it fuel. Sleep restores it. Movement keeps the sparks alive. But purpose? Purpose is the oxygen. Without it, the flame weakens, no matter how much wood you add. When people lose purpose, they lose more than activity. They lose identity. That's why so many who retire to nothing decline faster. The body follows the mind. But when you find meaning, the opposite happens. Purpose triggers the brain to release dopamine and endorphins, the joy chemicals. It reduces stress, strengthens the immune system, and even improves memory. Purpose is not abstract philosophy. It's biological survival. Here's what too many seniors are never told. You are still needed. Your children need your stories. Your grandchildren need your guidance. Your community needs your wisdom. And the world, yes, even this busy, noisy world, still needs your hands, your heart, and your voice. No matter your age, you are a library of lived experience. You are a bridge between generations. You carry the laughter, the scars, the victories, and the lessons that younger souls cannot yet imagine. Without you, the story of humanity has missing pages. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't mean building empires or writing books, unless you want it to. Often, it's the small acts of meaning that create the biggest impact. 1. Mentorship and teaching pass on your skills. Whether it's carpentry, cooking, farming, writing, or life lessons, teach someone younger. Every story you tell is a seed planted in the future. 2. Volunteering hospitals, schools, libraries, and charities thrive because of seniors who give their time. Volunteering doesn't just help others, it fuels your own spirit. 3. Family leadership. Be the anchor in your family. Create traditions, write letters, host gatherings. Your presence can be the glue that holds generations together. 4. Creative pursuits. Write that book. Paint that picture. Learn that instrument. The pursuit of creativity gives purpose that is deeply personal, yet universally uplifting. 5. Care for something living. From pets to plants, from gardens to grandchildren, nurturing life keeps you connected to the cycle of growth. 6. Spiritual and community involvement. Prayer groups, meditation circles, or even informal gatherings of like-minded souls offer a sense of belonging to something greater than yourself. Purpose does not retire. It evolves. In Okinawa, Japan, where some of the world's longest living people reside, elders are not hidden away. They are celebrated. They are leaders, storytellers, decision-makers. They don't ask, "What will I do with my remaining years?" They ask, "Who still needs me today?" And because they never stop asking, they never stop living. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, another famous longevity hotspot, grandparents play active roles in family life. They raise grandchildren, tend farms, and gather for nightly meals. To them, retirement is not the end. It's a shift in responsibility, a new season of leadership. That's the model the world has forgotten. Life after 60 isn't an empty chapter. It's the climax. Think of your life as a book. The first chapters were about learning, growing, striving. The middle chapters were about working, raising families, building careers. But the final chapters? They are not empty space. They are where the wisdom gathers, where the story deepens, where the themes come full circle. And here's the beauty. The last chapters are often the most powerful. They hold the lessons that make the whole book worth reading. There was once a grandfather who spent every Sunday afternoon telling his grandchildren stories, not of kings and queens, but of his own struggles, his mistakes, his small victories. Years later, when he passed, his grandchildren stood together and said, "We are who we are because of him." His life didn't just extend his own years, it extended ours. That is the real power of purpose. It doesn't eat and just add days to your life. It adds your life to the days of others. So let me ask you, when you wake up tomorrow, what will give you purpose? Maybe it's calling your daughter. Maybe it's helping your neighbor. Maybe it's writing down your life story so future generations never forget. Whatever it is, don't let society tell you your purpose ended when you retired. Purpose is not measured by a paycheck or a title. It's measured by the love you give, the wisdom you share, and the lives you touch. When we put it all together, eating for energy, moving every hour, sleeping well, keeping the brain young, building strong connections, purpose is the thread that ties them all. Without purpose, health is just survival. With purpose, health becomes a journey. And so, as this chapter closes, remember this: your story is still being written. Your quilt is still being stitched. Your fire is still burning. You are not done. You are just beginning again. And that, my friend, is how purpose makes life not just longer, but infinitely richer. So, there you have it. 7 powerful ways to stay healthy after 60. Start with just one today, and your future self will thank you. If you found even one of these tips helpful, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe, because I share practical, science-backed tips every week to help you live stronger, healthier, and longer. And if you're ready for the next step, watch this video right here where I reveal the 1-minute test that shows your risk of falling as a senior. Trust me, you'll want to know this. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 habits do you want to start today? And which one do you struggle with the most? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one.